signaling course before, and we really love to see your feedback. Okay? And tell me what do you think about the lecture. Tell me what you think and what you could do about the cancer situation in this country. Okay? I think for the human being, the human benefit, we all been saddened by the fact that so many people die of cancer. Okay? I have my brother-in-law die of a brain tumor. I have my mother-in-law who have colon cancer. And I think many of us, our friends and relatives, have been affected by this horrible disease. So, Jim. So, in your capability, please, help yourselves understand more about this cancer biology. I don't know in here, in Vietnam, do we have a cancer supporting group or cancer organization to help the cancer patient? No? I see people shaking their head. Okay. So, that's something you can do as well. Okay? In the US, I will tell you one organization particularly helpful for cancer patients, for breast cancer particularly, the Susan G. Komen Foundation. That these foundations do fundraising every year. The people participate in fundraising could be from volunteer, from people who want to help because their family member or friends die of breast cancer. So they have this 5K run program or just 1K, 3K walk. So basically, they are running and then help raising the money for the Cancer Foundation. Okay? And the Cancer Foundation have this money, was able to support or give an education to community. Okay? They went to every little community in the city to advocate. People need to do mammogram to detect breast cancer, to give them education how to eat well, and then to help them when they have cancer, how they could face that disease, in a healthy situation, and how the family could support the patient when the patient has the disease. So all these things here, if someone told me that there's nothing happened here, and many of you, if you have friends who are involved in social work, or even you could get an initiative to help and start, okay? And then they will be great. Some of you probably, okay, I have a friend who died of lung cancer, okay? And you form a supporting group. And this supporting group, maybe in a way, you go to every community to help educate people not to smoke. Because I'm telling you here, but still a lot of people won't be able to hear about something like this. Hear about what is the disadvantage of being a smoker. So that's something to think about, okay? And then it could be stuff on you to make this happen. And hopefully, when 5 years later, when I have a chance to revisit here again or whatever, visit here, and I heard about some of the certain type of cancer supporting group is happening here. I think it may be due to some of your effort. That will be great, great things. before I started the next part, I think some of you really interested in protein sigma. So I thought I'd give you some try to fill in some of the study we have done and let you know the importance of this important molecule. Okay? So here I just want to show you that protein sigma indeed is a homodimer. Okay? It has an N-terminal. You see the structure here. This N-terminal is one monomer here, another monomer here. Okay? This is the N-terminal of the 14-3-3 sigma. Okay? And then, so form a cup-like structure, or I say the half donut structure. Okay? But the C-terminal of one monomer, you see the red dot here, indicating some of the residue involving protein-protein interaction with a certain target. Another C-terminal of the homodimer also interact with other target. So this could be interact with target 1 and then target 2. And then because of these combinations, will they help to maybe target 1 protein to regulate the target 2 protein. Okay. So just that you know the structure of the protein sigma. We talked about some of the things here already, but this just give you a quick view again. The protein sigma has very important feedback regulation. This is positive feedback regulation for PBD3. Protein sigma inhibit another very important kinase called AKT. We're going to talk about AKT a lot in the next lecture. AKT also has a name called protein kinase B. Okay, if you read literature, when they say protein kinase B, that is AKT. Okay, AKT could phosphorate very many substrates. Okay, this is one of the important kinase involving cancer signaling. So we will talk about that later. Okay. We already mentioned this. The protein sigma as a half donut structure. Put one end of the C-terminal interact with MDM2, the other end of interact with PBD3. By doing so, blocking MDM2 activities to do the nuclear export. Sometimes this end could be replaced with PBD3 and then causing the homotetramerization of PBD3. That these proteins become transcription activated. And then there will be a targeted gene expression of P21, 14-3-3 sigma, etc. Here, I mentioned this, how 14-3-3 sigma to maintain the chromosome integrity. To see is to believe. Okay, that's why we research needs to be done. I mentioned to you before, SCD116, a colon cancer cell line, very unique because this is the only few cancer cell lines have normal chromosome number. Okay. If you count it, about 23 pair, okay, 46 chromosomes. But the cell line engineered to lose the sigma. Now you see the chromosome number dramatically increase. Okay? In addition to that, you see the DNA breakage, okay, shown by the arrow there, indicating that 14-3-3 sigma indeed play a very important role to maintain the chromosome integrity. Okay? Many of you asked questions. I didn't know the sigma really interested you so much, but we do sort of the transcriptome analysis. And then Dr. Lin Fang had teach you how to do the OncoMind. And then if you dig all the expression profile that has been studied about different kind of cancer, you can see the 14-3-3 sigma downregulation not only happen in breast cancer, it's ovarian cancer, colon cancer, etc. So indicating that these proteins really play an important role in tumorigenesis. We talk about cancer homa. Okay? Cancer homa right now we define as the characteristic of a cancer. Okay? And then you can see it. It has 10 different cancer hormones. Okay? You take a look. The proliferation, this is one thing. Okay? And the evading growth suppression, like the one that we have defect in P27 and P57. The one has an overexpression of cyclin E causing the abnormal cell proliferation. Okay? And then they also have the capability to replicate more. Okay? So all these are at least for cancer cell cycle. We know these are 3 characteristics there. 3 cancer hormones. It's regulated. The cancer hormone already known for another thing for about the apoptosis. Okay? The cell will be able to register program cell death. Okay? And then the other capability to do the angiogenesis, to invade to the nearby tissue. Okay? So you already know 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cancer hormone. Okay? We talk about something about the genome integrity. That's another cancer hormone. Okay? These 43 sigma play a role in that area. We have not touched anything about avoid the immunosurveillance. Okay, we have not talked about the information part. Okay, we will spend some time to talk about the cancer antigen pathway. So, you know, the cancer has all these different characteristics. Okay, and then that make you judge that they could be tumorigenic. Okay? A lot of time, if you're taking the aspirin to help your immune response, to prevent the inflammation, that aspirin has been known to be very good in help the cancer survival. Anybody take aspirin? Those who take aspirin, raise your hand. No, nobody take aspirin. But aspirin is a good anti-inflammation one. It's been studied, epidemiology has been shown. The people who are taking aspirin will prolong their cancer survival if they have cancer. Okay? The aspirin is a good, and it is very cheap medicine. Okay? But be careful. If a person has a breathing problem, aspirin is not good. Okay? So, and because we know the inflammation is playing important role for cancer formation. Okay? So you using aspirin to kill that inflammation process will help suppressing the cancer growth. Okay? The cancer antigen metabolism. So here it shows some of the scientists and the oncologists and the pharmaceutical company try to come out a way to suppress the deregulation of these cancer hormones. We heard about an EGFR inhibitor. EGFR inhibitor is good for those lung cancer who has an EGFR mutation. Okay? We talk about the cyclin-dependent kinase inhibitor because cyclin-dependent kinase is promoting the cancer growth. Okay? There's some antibody coming along to help our immune system to kill the cancer cell. Okay? There's a telomerase inhibitor. There's an anti-inflammatory drug, the aspirin is the one we're talking about. There are also other anti-inflammation drugs available for doing so. Okay? There's an inhibitor for human growth factor receptor CMAC pathway to prevent the cell invasion. There's an VEGF inhibitor to prevent the cancer angiogenesis. It's a PARP inhibitor for prevent the chromosomes genome integrity regulation. There's a particular BH3 mimetic will help our system to prevent the cancer cell, avoid the cancer cell death program. There's a glycolysis inhibitor to help the cancer antigen current deregulation. Okay? So this is a very clear feature for the cancer hallmark. And then you know, maybe not every type of cancer all have the deregulation of all these 10 cancer hallmarks. They maybe have just one or two. Okay? But we're using a certain type of drug, maybe able to help the cancer survival. So next lecture, I'm going to move on to the growth signaling pathway, especially focus on the one very important regulator along the AKT pathway that be able to promote the cancer growth. So here, as we mentioned earlier, cell cycle is a machinery, but this cell cycle machinery still need to require a signal when they're going to go or not. Okay? Like you are riding your motorbike, right? The engine is on, but you need to put a gear in order for the engine to move. Okay? So, as we know, the cell has on the cell membrane has a lot of growth factor receptor. Here, give you an example: the EGFR, the EGF receptor. They receive the ligand. And then there's the receptor causing the dimerization. They have the transphosphorylation event. Once this phosphorylation event turns on, there's some other downstream target regulator will be activated, okay? Including RAS, okay, or the AKT PI3K pathway. And here talk about a RAS kinase will go through these MET kinase. There's a MET kinase, MET kinase, ERK1, ERK2 phosphorylation, and these will phosphorylate on the transcription factor. This transcription factor go into the membrane, a nuclear membrane, go through nuclear membrane, to go through the nucleus, to sit on the promoter of a certain gene involving proliferation, migration, apoptosis, to turn on the gene expression. So the EGF will help these processes. That's the reason I said, if you eat Kentucky Fried Chicken, we don't know what's inside this Kentucky Fried Chicken, how many growth factors there. If they put a lot of growth factor, maybe after the cooking, there's still some residual. Then you see the possibility it's going to do on your intestine epithelial cell. Okay? So be aware, all right? The EGFR receptor, not only EGFR, there's another type of receptor on the surface of a cell as well, including VEGF, including PDGF, including IGF, okay? These are all the so-called receptor tyrosine kinase. So they do a lot of things. We talked about the RAS, RAF, MEK, ERK pathway already, okay? And the pharmaceutical company, our scientists, try to come out with a way to stop this process. So that some of the small molecule has been done, such as to come out with a farnesyl transferase inhibitor to block the RAS activity, come out with the inhibitor to stop the RAF, okay? Sometimes these receptor kinase pathway goes to the PI3K AKT pathway. Remember AKT we talked about a lot. The AKT will go down to mTOR, and the mTOR will have several important involved in the protein translation, involved in the gene expression to regulate a lot of things from there. So again, oncologists or pharmaceutical company try to come up with a way to stop this process. There's an EGFR inhibitor to fat delivered, erodicated, and then all these whole bunch of the EGF receptor inhibitor as well. So the purpose is to stop the signal there. But as I said, any drug you try to kill the cancer cell, the cancer have a way to get around it. Okay? So the better thing is still not to get cancer. Because you could imagine you block this pathway, this receptor kinase pathway will be able to activate this pathway. You stop this pathway to go through this pathway. How could you kill them all? It's a challenge for all of us. So you get the appreciation about the difficulty and then the cancer signaling pathway. Right now we're going to focus on that particular AKT-mTOR pathway to let you understand the important regulation of these part of study. And then there's also something related with the diet that you are eating. Okay? The PI3K-AKT pathway, this oncogene, will somehow has an impact on these important complexes called TSC2, TSC1. Especially AKT was able to inhibit the TSC2. This is very important regulator for the downstream kinase called mTOR, okay, mTORC1. TSC2 will be able to regulating the GTP of the rat and then regulate mTOR. Now keep in mind, this is mTOR complex. Do several important things. Inhibit autophagy, okay? Do a protein synthesis. Do the glycolysis by activating the HIP1 expression. They were able to cause the glucose uptake, enhance glycolysis. Okay? They will be able to facilitate the pentose phosphate pathway. They will be able to activate fatty acid and steroid synthesis. mTOR do so many things, especially related with our cancer allergen pathway. We'll talk about some of the autophagy, we'll talk about some of the glycolysis. So mTOR also has another two types of complex. One is called mTORC1, the other type called mTORC2. mTORC1 has these complexes including raptor and these other proteins. mTORC2 has these Richter and then other complexes. Okay, you can see the protein, the amino acid sequence of some of these proteins has certain repeat. We talked about WD40 repeat the other days. Okay, mTOR is a kinase. If you take a look, it's a least kinase domain called serous-related kinase domain. Okay, then the heat repeat, a certain protein motif repeat. As fat, have an FRB. There's a departure. Okay, and then the also have the Richter. Okay, do not have certain type of repeat. SIN1 cluster. You don't have to really memorize, but just want to bring you to these regulation in the mTOR signal. Let's take a look at the TSC2, one of the very important upstream regulator of mTOR. Okay. TSC2 have this particular motif called GAP, GTP activated protease motif, GTPase activating protein domain, GAP, GTPase activating protein motif. The reason it was able to activate the RAP or inhibiting RAP to block the mTOR, because all due to this particular motif. Okay? The TSC2 was also regulated through the phosphorylation process, and the 14-3 was able to regulate its activity as well. This is the mTOR, okay? mTOR, we talk about the heat repeat, okay? Heat stands for Huntington elongation factor 3A, subunit PB2A on TOR1, okay? Heat, H-E-A-T. Okay? You need to get to know the history of these nomenclature. Okay? FAT domain, okay? And then FRB domain, okay. FAT stands for FRAP, ATM, and TTRAP. So they have these organizations, and then importantly have the kinase motif there, okay. And that's an mTOR. So what is an mTOR-C1 and mTOR-C2 do? Okay. They behave a little bit differently. Okay. We already know about the mTOR and the kinase domain and the MAT and the heat repeat and the C terminal there. mTOR-C1 has a other partner, mTOR-C2 has other partner. The major difference is these one, the raptor